I seem to remember that, as I said, this was a pretty big studio, and there were other recordings going on at the same time. Uh, and I think someone told us that Brian Robertson, the guitar player from Thin Lizzy and also Motorhead, was in town, and he was doing recordings there, I think with, if I remember correctly, I might be wrong, but doing recordings with John Norum from Europe. So they were there at night, whereas we were there during the day. And apparently there were some wild things going on. And this was, like I said, it's 18 years ago, and people were crazier then, I think, than they are now. Anyway, I think for us the recording was pretty quick. Obviously, we had all the songs written well in advance because it was our first album. And then it was mixed by Fred. And then we just sent it over to England for mastering and release. And that was our first album. Regarding Das Boot, not Das Boot, there were a lot of other like hard rock, heavy metal, and death metal bands recording there as well. Helicopters have done a bunch of stuff there, I know, and Amon Amarth did, I think it was an album called The Crusher in that studio. Entombed have at least recorded drums there, and also I think like a mini LP they did called Black Juju, I think that was in Das Boot, and a lot of other stuff, and also quite a lot of Swedish pop stuff was recorded in Das Boot as well, and I think it was later on bought up by like a major label like Sony or something like that. Yeah, we're coming up to Sunlight Studios, where it used to be in this big building, but it was in the basement. And like Sunlight Studios was a bit of a pun, because obviously there was no sunlight there at all. But the guy who ran Sunlight Studios was Thomas Skogsberg, who also recorded these by now famous death metal albums. And Dismember recorded there, and after that Fred started to work as an engineer for Thomas in Sunlight. So he was engineering a lot of other bands there as well, and then Das Boot went into action, and Fred kind of moved there to be the engineer in Das Boot.